Hello, and welcome to Nutshell History. Today, we'll be looking at the social safety net. Let's picture all Americans on ladders, climbing up and advancing economically. What happens if you fall off the ladder? You lose your job, get sick, or become too old to work. Maybe there should be a net that keeps those people from going kersplat. That's the idea of the social safety net. It contains government programs, such as Social Security, welfare, and Medicare, that help people with their basic needs when they need it. Sounds great, right? Well, you pay for it with your taxes. And we can thank FDR for that idea. FDR, that is President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and his administration knotted together this net. Enter the Great Depression. The economy tanked, businesses closed, and millions of Americans lost their jobs. Sound familiar? To fix this mess, FDR proposed a New Deal that created projects to employ people, passed new laws to get things back on track, and set up agencies to help stimulate the economy. Part of this New Deal was the 1935 Social Security Act. How does it work? Imagine that you are a worker. You pay a tax, the Social Security tax, that supports senior citizens who can no longer work. Why seniors? The idea is that each generation of workers chips in some money so that the previous, older generation can buy groceries, pay the electricity, and simple living sorts of things. The older generation doesn't receive these funds until they're at least 62. A little piece of your paycheck goes towards grandma's denture cream now, but your grandkids' taxes will pay for your denture cream, or denture plasma, whatever there is in the future. After all, it's about respecting your elders. Keeping with the program, 30 years later, President Lyndon B. Johnson enacted a series of programs he called the Great Society, sort of a New Deal Part 2. You would think the economy was failing again? Wrong. It was actually the strongest it had ever been, and Johnson believed it was time to use that wealth to better society. One of the programs created was the controversial Aid to Families with Dependent Children, aka welfare. Parents with children under the age of 18 must make less money than the specified income requirement to receive any help from the government. If they qualify for aid, their state government dispenses food stamps and money to be used for childcare, transportation, and basic living expenses. Some people think that those on welfare depend too much on it. Is it fair for some to be handed a small income while others work to earn an income that supports those on welfare? At the same time, though, do we have a responsibility to help each other when we're down and out for whatever reason? After all, what if it was you? As my kindergarten teacher said, treat others like you'd like to be treated and stop eating the paste. So what happens if you're sick and without health insurance? Lyndon B. Johnson thought of this too when he crafted the Great Society plan. He included two programs, Medicaid, which funds health care for the very poor, and Medicare, which funds health care for the elderly. Fast forward to the 1990s. President Bill Clinton proposed an overhaul of the healthcare system. He wanted to expand the medical benefits reserved for the poor and elderly to everyone. That proposal was shot down, and opponents called it unfeasible. And now we've come to the present day. President Barack Obama did what Clinton could not. He convinced Congress to create a system of health care for all, with the Affordable Care Act. Americans will be required to have health insurance or pay a fine, and insurers cannot decline to cover a person for having a pre-existing condition, that is, already being sick when they seek insurance. Some people don't think the government should be involved in the healthcare industry at all. Others don't want to have to pay for insurance, or to pay for other people's insurance. They believe that healthcare is something people should take care of themselves. It should not be part of the social safety net. Should the government take some of my private wealth, my money, and use it to help the Commonwealth? the sick, elderly, and poor? How should we balance the need for citizens to take personal responsibility, private wealth, with the desirability of pooling our resources, commonwealth, to help the less fortunate? How does our nation's common good depend upon the strength and resources of private citizens?